What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Opendoor. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Opendoor is down 0.57%, 692 the low, 705 the high, but extremely low volume. So 10.5 million shares being traded, 121 is the average. No news from Opendoor, no SEC filings. On social media, Kaz has been quiet, but you do see Keith fairly active and arguing with a lot of people, including, I think, more notably George. So kind of comical if you kind of think about it, just them going back and forth. Aside from that, though, it's the market digesting this data. That's one thing that's really moving the market. And interestingly enough, though, you are seeing Opendoor somewhat get suppressed, whereas most of my watch list is very green. So the market, I think, is kind of not really knowing what it truly does want, because, for instance, ADP employment did come in at 4,700. Very good, especially comparing it to the previous week of negative 13,000. Of course, market doesn't want good. The market wants negative to justify rate cuts. So surprisingly, even though tomorrow is a very big day for the interest rate decision, we did see this go down slightly. So going into, I guess, tomorrow, we're sitting at an 87.4% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. Over and above the ADP, we also did get JOLT numbers, and this was pretty on point. And so we did get the September as well as the October. Both were phenomenal. So this kind of is popping the whole narrative of consumers are struggling and whatever else. It looks as though things are looking pretty good from their aspect. So right now, again, this did go down slightly. So you're seeing a lot of stocks really move higher because of the positive data, but clearly any stock that was going to really benefit from potentially rate cuts, they're the ones that are getting kind of suppressed and lagging a little bit. This is why Opendoor, unfortunately, is not really doing that great as much as you would have anticipated. Right now, shorts are increasing about 52,000 shares, 13.6% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 106.5 million shares overall are being shorted. Still shows some signs of manipulation and, I guess, naked shorting, because there is more shares being shorted than on loan, as I kind of brought up in my video yesterday. But even from here, you can kind of see shorts aren't really doing anything from the teal line right there. So it's just people are waiting for Opendoor, in my opinion, to really hit a home run and actually show that their new model is actually going to drive up and kind of increase demand. Aside from that, though, looking at the options, we're seeing 1.3 million in calls, 1.1 in puts, and then 42% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $8 plus range. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub $6.50. So definitely there is a little bit more downside, but the frequency is more bullish. Aside from that, though, these are some of the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So not that much institutions really trading it, but of the four, one is a sell, three are buys. This is why, in my opinion, you shouldn't always trust this type of data just by looking at the stock price, because lately algorithmic trading has been a very massive force. Whereas if you actually do follow what big money is truly doing behind the scenes, it goes to show that they are buying. Not significant, but still, it is what it is. And this is, again, one common thing there that has been happening with Opendoor, is that you actually do see institutions buying it, but you see kind of the stock price relatively red. These are some of the transactions occurring on the dark pool, though. So as well, a lot of hold numbers. So that's usually a sign of hedge funds. So hedge funds are definitely trading Opendoor quite a lot as well. Since shorts aren't really doing anything, it is fair to assume that most of this is linked to kind of that, to hedge funds. If there is some big developments that does kind of pop out and whatever maybe news drops, then I'll do a PM video. Let me know in the comments if you would like that regardless. But with it right now at 704, it is trading right now between this pivot and this S1. So 692 is going to be a strong support. And in fact, that is the low for today. So we do know that's a good support level. Definitely, if you're dollar cost averaging, maybe orient your buys around there. And then 725 followed by 759 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So if we do get for whatever reason, a 25 basis point cut tomorrow, and then Powell alludes to maybe more cuts for January, then this is where you'll see the market really heat up and start to really move higher. Aside from all that fun stuff, quickly popping over here, still not looking too great. Stochastic RSI is neutral, so 58, not overbought nor oversold. But right now it's kind of just stuck in limbo between that 10 and also this 100-day moving average. So right now it just needs a little bit of a push, and that is it. Although you do see from the market position a lot more willing sellers. So again, it's not going to come easy for it to get over $8. I think if Opendoor would have just kicked ass and really pushed higher, let's say roughly around December the 4th, that was a good opportunity for them to really get above that 50-day moving average. But this is also one thing that could be attributing to Opendoor consolidating, is it bouncing off of this 50-day moving average. Let me know your general thoughts on Opendoor. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and give yourself a shout out what you've been doing. And actually looks like it is starting to turn green. So finally, possibly institutions are starting to buy it up, because yeah, I think generally Opendoor has been lagging and been just artificially suppressed by algorithmic trading. There really hasn't been that much in articles on the side note. So I think Opendoor has been very speculative lately, especially even Kaz not really giving any insights to new models or kind of new innovative type of thing. I know when he first came in, he was like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, AI this, AI that. Market loved that. And of course, with any momentum stock, giving those constant updates is good. Market loves that. So all in all, pretty good things. One thing, as I have always mentioned, if you do truly believe in Opendoor, take advantage, buy some long calls, because that is where you can make some very serious money. So hypothetically, if you feel $8 is on the table, which is roughly around a 12% gain from the common stock, you can buy a long call and make 106%. That's just, again, using December the 19th as a kind of expiry date. So let me know your thoughts on Opendoor. And then one final thing, pop over to my Discord. It is completely free, link in the description below and also the comments. A lot of good Opendoor investors and many others, so you can kind of talk shop and do whatever you want. So definitely pop over there, check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.